Please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks. This case has captivated the country because of the disappearance of an 84-year-old woman. This case has had so many twists and turns, but I wanted to deliver facts, and my information is fact-based. If you've watched my prior video, then you know I put out some information regarding the raid that was just done and a vehicle that was involved in that raid and seized. We're going to get more into that. Please just stick with me. So, there's been a lot of speculation. A lot of people are going after the gentleman that works at that dealership, which is pretty much all over the internet now. It's known as MG Motors. They are based in Tucson on Oracle Road. The dealership took possession of that car back in October of 2025, and the car was recently sold. Now, I don't have an exact sale date just yet, but it was sold, I believe, the end of January. That car has no liens. It was paid for at some point in cash. There's been a lot of back and forth about when the car was actually off the lot. I'm going to get there, but let's recap this week.
Breaking news this morning out of Arizona. A person of interest has been released from custody after being detained in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie.
Now, it comes as new images released by the FBI show a masked person who appeared to be armed right outside Nancy Guthrie's door.
You have it very manicured?
No, that's not him. Nope. I can assure you it's not him.
Okay.
I didn't do anything, to be honest. Like, I'm innocent.
And then we move to our second detained situation where they detained 3 different people from that Land Rover. One was taken and questioned. And that person, I've already revealed who that is. It's all over. This is speculation based on fact. No one has been arrested at this time. So the owner of this car is Lucas Daly. He was at the home that was raided on Placita de Rogelio when that whole FBI raid went down the other night. Now, as you can see in these pictures, he can look different at different points in his life. The first image was taken a few years ago. This image was a little more recent, but also over a year ago. This person seems to change a lot, which, given his history, that makes sense. If you look at the picture very close up and zoomed, I'm not sure how it's coming out on video, but you can see that this individual does have brown eyes and he has applied a blue contact over it. Here are some images of other looks that this individual has had, 2022. But the gist is he does have dark hair, dark eyes, dark facial hair. What really stands out to me is this person has a very unique pattern on the upper lip, which we wanted to try to match up people with that mask, which proved to be really difficult. I mean, so many people could fit under that mask and fit this person's facial features, but not quite as well as this person. He makes a repeated shaving mistake in many of his photographs where for some reason it's hard for him to shave that upper lip and it's almost like there's a divot there. It could be the way the hair grows. I'm not sure. That's not my expertise. However, this fits exactly. And this is a feature significant and unique to this person. Combined with the vehicle, combined with this individual's history, let's get into it. This publication was put out February 2nd, 2026 of this year. Ironically, the day after Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. This has been published by the Daily Territorial of Tucson, which is a paper there. It says a statement of factual grounds for the seizure for forfeiture. On May 15th, 2025, Marana police officers observed a vehicle driven by Luke Daly driving in a manner consistent with drug trafficking. Kayla Day was a passenger in the car. An officer walked by the vehicle while it was parked in the Walmart parking lot at 7635 North La Cholla in Pima County. He observed drug paraphernalia in plain view in the car. Consequently, the vehicle was searched and officers found a duffel bag on the passenger seat that held a 9mm AR pistol and a loaded magazine. Day had a backpack in her possession that contained a for sale amount of fentanyl pills and 17 Suboxone strips. Officers also found the captioned $1,366. Both Daly and Day cell phones were found to contain messages confirming they were actively involved in drug sales. Luke Anthony Daly and Kayla Noel Day have been indicted on drug trafficking charges related to this investigation in Pima County. Excuse me, I do have a parrot and she's quite loud. She's in the other room hearing me, so she's yelling. This is interesting. Although millions of people shop at Walmart, this individual even commits his crimes there. I do believe the backpack that was found at Walmart is definitely the maker, and maybe this is just an older model of that backpack. This is Kayla. She was the co-defendant mentioned May of 2025. This was a mugshot of her some years ago when she was serving time for another drug crime. She was convicted of attempted burglary in the second degree and a dangerous drug violation. That was 2017. Back to the co-defendant in her case, Mr. Daly, who most likely is the person we're going to see linked to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. He has already served time and been convicted of flight from a law enforcement vehicle, criminal damage, endangerment, drug paraphernalia violations, solicitation of a dangerous drug violation. These charges were imposed back in 2017, looks like 18, and he was sentenced in 2019. This person is no stranger to the criminal justice system and has an apparent drug issue. As for Kayla and the 2025 case, where they were pulled over together, she is currently on the run. She posted bond, and apparently that bond has been forfeited by the court just recently. So back on January 15th of this year, Kayla has been on the move. So was she involved in this matter as well? We don't know. We don't know what their relationship is. However, she is currently out and about, unless she was with him that night and they picked her up as a result of being with him. I don't know. I kind of doubt it because I think that would have been put in the news. So what did they find in that vehicle? What were they swabbing? It looked like they were swabbing some type of stains in the back of that vehicle, perhaps looking for drugs, but that car was taped up and put into evidence. I do believe there was a motive for why this individual would break into Nancy's residence, because everybody's probably asking that, right? What would this 36, 37-year-old man have in common with this 84-year-old woman? Well, does his mom know her in passing? I mean, his mother is 77. She was detained that night as well, briefly. Could she have known her from the neighborhood? These people live 2 miles apart. But I think the bigger motive here is drugs. I believe Nancy walked with a walker, a cane. She had known mobility issues, which her daughter spoke very freely about in the plea to return her, that she lived with a lot of pain and that she required medication. It is a known fact that robberies and drug addict offenders, especially people addicted to opioids, will go into homes and rob people of their medication. Did he see Nancy at CVS? Maybe he was picking up his own prescription for Suboxone or some other type of drug to help him with his own addiction. and repeatedly saw her there. That's really the only thing that I can see that would bring this person to her house. And if you look at his body, his style, this is going to be our suspect. I have taken out a child that was in that picture because he's a kid and he does not need to be interjected into this ugly story. In addition to that, the black gloves. There was one found about 1.5 to 2 miles away from Nancy's home. Let's talk about Mr. Daly and some black gloves. He's been working on a crashed up car outside of his parents' home. A lot of times mechanics will use those kind of bite lights to work on cars so they can have their hands free. And once again, it's looking real crazy for Mr. Daly. There he is with the light in his mouth. I thought it was maybe a grill and a reflection, but it really does appear to be a flashlight. TMZ has gotten a letter today stating that they have a record and that's why they don't want to come forward to the police. I think I know who that is. Could it be our co-defendant on the run? I think so. Not showing up for court on some serious drug charges would prevent you from talking to LE. The person states multiple people were involved. How will she know? Was she there? And that route that was taken back home. Was it you that dropped the glove on your way? Luke, if you're involved in this, you just need to give it up because it's over. You're going to be caught. You're already there. And Kayla, if it's you that has information, you're in trouble anyway. If I was you, I'd come forward and see what you can work out with investigators. That's your best bet. Mr. Daly is Mexican American. He is 5'8", 160 pounds. That's about an estimate in terms of the height they got from the door being 5'9", 5'10". He also had some significant shoes on. This case is really ugly. It doesn't have to stay ugly. Forensics are all over this. There's nothing you can do to go backward in time. You know, people make mistakes. People do awful things every day. It's how you're going to redeem yourself from this. And there's redemption in everything. You just have to find it. There are no real shortcuts in life. You need to do the right thing. You had resources you could have used. You could have got help. This thing got too far gone. But you can tell us where Nancy is. You can turn this around. You have the control to do it. The family's suffering. What if this was your mom or your grandma? Just do the right thing. I mean, the gig's up. It's been 2 weeks. Things are not getting any better. You can turn it around. Bring peace to this family. Tell your truth. And get this behind you. Savannah has a message, if you didn't see it.
I wanted to come on and it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that we still have hope and we still believe. And I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing. And we are here. And we believe. And we believe in the essential goodness of every human being. And it's never too late.
You can do it. You can be strong. You can tell the truth. You can set the record straight. And you can rewrite some of this picture. Because if you don't, it's going to be so ugly. You have a mom. You have family. You got to do the right thing. There's just no other way. We're getting close. She's going to be found. And when she is, it's going to go down even harder. Anyone with any information, please call law enforcement at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Put in your tips. Someone knows something. Someone saw something late that night. Maybe you live in the neighborhood. Maybe you saw that Range Rover on the road. Think about it. We can find Nancy. Until then, thank you all so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe. Now let's watch this thing unfold. Thanks again, and always be safe.